After watching it for a second time, we gotta talk about all of the best and worst moments in Superman in a full spoiler-like manner, because trust me, I got a lot of hot takes. While I still love the movie, there's still some things I really wanted to change, and I low-key feel like I'm cooking just a little bit. And on top of that, I really just want to talk about some of my favorite moments from the movie, as well as giving you my finalized review at the end, because Superman really had it all. Insane teases for the Justice League, setups for some really fun spin-off, and some hints and teases at who the potential overarching villain of the DC Universe could be. So this is your spoiler warning. You have been warned. This is your choice. Either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta talk about it. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. But for real, crazy head place. But for real, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room, and that is Ultraman. Because in the months leading up to the movie, there were so many potential guesses on who Ultraman could ultimately end up being, with one of the cooler theories being that he could potentially be Doomsday, but the most popular theory was just a clone of Superman. And that's exactly the way it played out in the movie. They legit took a panel out of the Boys comic run, where Black Noir is revealed to be a clone of Homelander, and said, "I'll take that." It turns out, while he was studying Superman, he also got a piece of his hair. And of course, that bald-headed six-head was easily able to clone him. But the issue is, he's a dumbass. So I like how he's able to play like Mortal Kombat IRL by putting in these codes. I got 1A, 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 1 ingrained inside my brain. I always knew Lex was a button masher for real. Now this ultimately ends with Superman hitting that reverse Uno card on Lex and saying brain beats brawn by having Krypto take out all the cameras that are helping him control Ultraman. And then he takes that man to Pound Town. Hold up. But on my first viewing, I hated the fact that Superman essentially killed him. My initial thought was, really, James, why are we doing Man of Steel again? You saw just how much everyone hated that decision in Man of Steel, and you're having him kill someone again? Like, you're just giving the Snyder writers more fuel. But then I started thinking about it a little bit more, and, you know, in all likelihood, a black hole does kill you. But in a comic book movie, for the most part, if you don't see the body, just know someone's coming back. The popular theory is that he's gonna come back deformed and be Bizarro. I personally wouldn't like that. Honestly, I would rather have that be like Doomsday, to be honest, than anything, because I really want to see Bizarro World. But once I started thinking about this whole reveal a little bit more, I started to go into the kitchen, and I think I cooked up something a little better. I think it would have been cooler if Superman found out that he was cloned a little bit earlier in the movie, like the midway point, and actually around the same time, or maybe a little bit after he finds out that his parents sent him to Earth to conquer and destroy them, which I'll dive a little bit deeper into this because this is something else I want to dissect. But I think that would have played into a more thematic and more fulfilling character arc for having a cloned version of Superman and Ultraman. When Superman is at his lowest, questioning his own self, his own morals, having a darker version of himself that he can literally look at in the mirror to try to save, which is the most Superman thing in the world, I think would have been much more compelling. And you could have done this without the public knowing that Lex cloned Superman. They could have had a Vision and White Vision ship of Theseus moment, even though he is a dumbass. Superman could have said, like, "You're free now," and he could have just flown away somewhere, and then we could have picked up on that storyline later. I just feel like that would have been cool because that's Superman to his core, especially after the fact that he wasn't able to save the kaiju. But like I said, I still feel like James Gunn has plans for Ultraman in the future. Now, moving on to the other controversial piece of this movie, where some people downright hate it and some people downright love it. I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle, and that's the fact that Kryptonians are basically Viltrumites and Saiyans. And Kal-El, by the way, I love the way Bradley Cooper says Kal-El, Kal-El, was sent to Earth to conquer them. Outside of the various evil Superman